Hi there everybody. I thought I'd just pop on and show you our Lift-the-Flap books. Actually, I've got quite a lot in stock at the moment, so I thought it was a good opportunity to show you how Usborne does some amazing quality Lift-the-Flap books that aren't just for children, because they're quite engaging, aren't they? And so they've made some for older children to get them interested in lots of different topics. Anyway, so I'm going to start off with the Lift-the-Flap books that we do for younger children. They start off with ones like these. This is the Peep Inside range. This is actually a young children's introduction to non-fiction. So this one's all about the sea, and they're on lots of different topics, non-fiction topics, and particularly habitats, animals. There's ones about bees. There's all sorts, and they're lovely books to talk to adults about. Children and adults looking together. They're not just flaps either, they're got nice holes in them so you can peep through, as well as having the flaps, and each flap is really big, so it's really sturdy, and it's not just stuck onto the card with a bit of glue like some of the other flap books we've got. It goes right into the page. I don't know if you can see that on there, like that. Anyway, so the ones we've got have lasted ages, are brilliant, and each one it's got beautiful illustrations as well. So these are $7.99. And then also within the sort of Peep Inside range, we also do Peep Inside of different fairy tales. So this is Cinderella. And as you can see, there's not just Lift-the-Flap, but it's this beautiful cut out like diorama, I think that's the right word, look to it. So this one is $9.99. So the flaps are also fairly big, good for slightly smaller hands, but it's got the traditional story, so it's a lovely way to look at different fairy tales. And look at this one, it's even got a double flap on it. Lovely way to introduce fairy tales to younger children. Maybe a present for a 3-year-old or 4-year-old, that kind of age. I wouldn't give it to a toddler as such, but they're lovely, aren't they? They open up the castle, and inside here is the whole ball, and suddenly here's the clock, and there's the carriage. Each page also has the peep, even the see the size of the castle and everything. They're lovely books. Yeah, and they're hardback as well, so they do last ages. $9.99 with that one. And then we have some other stories as well. So this one is from the Poppy and Sam range. So this is a Lift-the-Flap, hide and seek, and touchy-feely all in one. So this is the little sheep, and it's got the shiny on there, I don't know if you can see that, and the dog's ears on the front cover. But there are touchy-feely bits inside as well, so these are lovely for That's Not My Fans. And again, these are aimed obviously at the preschool markets, so they have huge flaps which are well attached, not very easy to rip, obviously will rip, and they also have board pages as well, so they're really strong books. And these are the traditional Stephen Cartwright illustrations, so of course on each page there's a little duck to find. Beautiful illustrations. Look at that water as well, isn't that lovely? And it goes through this lovely hide and seek story, finding all the animals on the farm, even though the thistles are prickly. I don't know if you can see the little ducks on this page. I think they're mostly hiding under the flaps, that kind of thing. Bits of text as well. Lovely story to share. Anyway, that one is $9.99 as well. It's a good price, isn't it, for that big book? The next ones I'm going to show you is the $7.99. These are also non-fictions. These are fantastic for young children who are asking lots of questions. This is the Lift-the-Flap very first question and answers book range. So this is the potty one. There's a poo one. There's what are stars? Where's the moon? That kind of thing. They're $7.99 each. Also hardback. Also card pages, and also got huge flaps. So they really double in size with the flaps that they have. Like this. I'm not going to open all the flaps because it's new. But there's loads of information in here. So this is kind of how the rest of the Lift-the-Flap works. You've got questions to investigate, things to discuss on the outside, and then under the flaps you get the answers to the questions. So you have to search for the information that you want. But they're all brightly coloured, lovely illustrations, really engaging, and they approach lots of different topics in really child-friendly ways. yes. If you'd like that one, and there's a what are germs as well, if you'd like it in the set, I might be able to give you a special offer if you ask. Let me know. Need that one for my daughter as well, hopefully this summer. So the next one in the range, asking slightly longer questions, is the Lift-the-Flap first questions and answers, and not very first but first. So these are slightly bigger books. At the moment I've got the What's It Like in Space and the How Do the Flowers Grow books. Got this one for spring. I thought someone might like this one. So again, it's got lots of things to look at, things to explore. So this is early years, I'd say, maybe preschoolers, maybe going on to reception and year one. Little bits of text to read, so it could be an adult that reads them, or maybe even the child themselves once they start reading. Loads and loads of information in there about flowers, lots of questions to answer. Who plants the seeds? Why do the leaves fall with the seasons? Where do seeds come from? Why do plants have flowers? All that kind of thing. And then in the space one, got lots of information about space and rockets and what's it like to visit space. I'm trying to read that backwards. Could we actually live on Mars? Well, that's an intriguing question at the moment, isn't it, with the Mars landings that's been going on. What else is in space? Loads of information in there. So these are $9.99 each. So I'd say those are about 4, 5, 6-year-olds maybe. So the next age band we have are the Lift-the-Flap questions and answers. You can see the theme running through the titles now. So these are a lot bigger. These are bigger children that can handle bigger books, but they have still got the hard pages that are tough, which means that the flaps don't come off very easily. They're still quite big flaps, and there's a lot more text underneath each page and a lot more questions to answer about each topic. So this is the time book, which is a fantastic topic. My son is just starting to work, he's in reception, just starting to think about time and dates, days of the week, what's a time and how long's an hour and how long's a minute and that kind of thing, and looking at different types of clocks, because it's very complicated, isn't it, the way we look at time. And it's a great introduction to it, and the ideas of hours and minutes and where can I see this clock, clocks in public places, and who's Big Ben, and who invented time in the first place. Fantastic. I've also, in that series, these are $9.99. So I've got time, I've got question answers about your body, and I have question answers about food. Also kind of in that series, we've got question answers about growing up. So this one is aimed at slightly older, I think it's 5 or 6 plus, obviously because of the content more than anything, but it's the same format, lots of questions, lots of flaps to explore. This is a fantastic book. Sorry, push it down a bit, there you go. Fantastic book for children that are thinking about growing up, getting bigger, what's teenager, why do we change, that kind of thing, but without going into too much of the kind of gory details. Why don't daddies give birth? So there's a very friendly one. There's also, in this series, I think there's one about where do babies come from as well, which is a really good book, but obviously goes into not too much detail about where they're actually made. So yeah, it's just a few bits of information. What are these for? I've seen these in the bathroom, mummy having in a cupboard, that kind of thing. Yeah, great book. $9.99. These are all $9.99 from now on. Moving on 6+, I have Lift-the-Flap computers and coding. So these are slightly older topics now, slightly different illustrations, still very bright and colourful, engaging, lots more text. These are definitely aimed at children who can read for themselves, but you can still read with them. Might be useful for an adult to look through as well. These are starting to get onto topics that I don't know a huge amount about. So yeah, Lift-the-Flap computers and coding. I've not done a huge amount of coding myself. So really engaging. These are great for a school library as well. And then I've got the Lift-the-Flap General Knowledge. This is a great book to base a children's quiz on, actually. Loads of information about lots of facts. There's a whale in there. There's pages about entertainment industry, and history, treasure, and a timeline in there. Loads of information, there's loads of flaps, loads of information under each flap. And if you, like us, I was going to showcase this later actually, we've also got the Bugs and Butterflies book. This was so popular last year with people doing homeschooling and buying those butterfly kits. Did you have that? Got the caterpillars through the post, and they grew, and then they turned to a chrysalis, and they turned to butterflies. It's lovely. So this is a fantastic book to go alongside that kind of project. It might be something you like to do for Easter. I've just had an email from the company to say you can buy your caterpillars now. Nice thing to do with the spring. And again, lovely for in school libraries, that kind of thing. It's a great biology lesson about insects and bugs, and go bug hunting in the garden, that kind of thing over the spring. And another tip I just got from my auntie the other day is if you've got any bananas that have gone a bit brown, bit black, you can put them out for the butterflies. It attracts the butterflies into your garden. Lovely idea. Anyway, that's the Bugs and Butterflies book. And then for the oldest children, the oldest range we do is the See Inside range. So at the moment I've got See Inside Germs, and See Inside Space. These are still all £9.99 each. They don't go up in price any higher than that. So these are loads of detail now, but still loads and loads packed full of facts under each flap. Lots of questions, lots of answers. Going into a bit more detail. More protozoa, so the language is a bit more advanced. Fascinating fungi. Spreading germs. This is a fantastic book at the moment. Natural defences. We do have other germs books for different ages as well, but this is the one for the older children. And then they've got the space one. Bang, the big bang. I'm not inside this very much. Making space. Oh, look at this. This isn't just flaps. This is whole pages. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's amazing. So that's a 4-page spread on there. And there's still flaps on these inner pages as well to explore. You're getting bonus extra content in there, I would say. And then there's a timeline of space and space travel. All the way till 2003 and now and onwards. Oh, got another, oh my gosh. Yeah, I haven't explored this book. Got another pull out 4-page spread there with more flaps. And we've got the one on the other side about the Milky Way attached to the timeline. Don't know if you can see that. There we go. Milky Way. It's almost as if they're saying, how can we get more pages in these books? And then all about space travel at the end. Isn't that amazing? So that's the See Inside Space, also £9.99. So each of these ranges have a huge number of topics within each range. So if there's anything that any questions that your children are throwing at you, you're not quite sure how to answer, please let me know, because we really have a book on every topic. Oh, I'm being visited by my little one. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope that's useful and informative. If you're a school and you're interested in raising money for books and getting some of these books onto your school library bookshelves, please let me know. If you're a parent and you would like to get some more books for your children, then please let me know. There's ways of getting them for free as well as buying them at great prices. Thank you very much for tuning in. Bye.